Both Tom and I have spent a lot of time working on different issues with regard to the contemporary Catholic Church, thinking about what it is that, or how it is that American Catholics today describe their faith and describe their church. And it's very difficult to avoid the sense that there are many Catholics who are choosing to walk away, to no longer identify as members of the Catholic Church. And sociologically, the numbers are they're astounding. 15 million, perhaps, American Catholics, people who are baptized Catholic, no longer identify as Catholic today. And so our question became, why is that? What is it that leads these people, many of whom have been brought up as Catholic, many of whom come from long Catholic families, to say, this isn't for me anymore?
Deconversion means when you change your mind, or what we call your faith mind, about the religion that you previously took as your own, and you begin to redefine its place in your life. Sometimes that can mean you stay as a regular attender, but you have changed your belief system and your practices away from the official expectations, but you stay as a regular attender or a moderate attender. Sometimes it means you become low affiliated or you leave. And what's interesting about Catholics is that there is a lot of reconfiguring about what counts as Catholicism going on in people's lives. And theologically and in church teaching, there's no way to really honor that or work creatively with that.
Certainly the official theology of the church is that once someone's baptized, they're Catholic forever. So from an official point of view, from a theological point of view, deconversion is a really tricky phenomenon, because some people will want to say, well, these Catholics simply aren't going to church anymore. And that's one very valid way to look at it. At the same time, though, if you talk to these individuals themselves, they'll say, I was once a Catholic and now I'm not. Or they might say I'm a former Catholic or an ex-Catholic, or some of them even use phrases like I'm a recovering Catholic. So I think it's probably fair to say that different people have different experiences. Some of them are taking a time away from the church and may come back. Some of them, on the other hand, though, have put a definitive stop at that point in their life and say, I'm moving on to something else. The most recent sociological studies we have show that something like 40% of those who deconvert, who say, I'm no longer Catholic, don't join another religious group. Of those who do, the overwhelming majority go somewhere actually quite unexpected, which is to say that they go to Protestant evangelical churches. Much more, I don't want to use the word hard line, but much more traditional churches in a sense. And then the majority, or the remainder, another 10% or so, end up going into more mainline Protestant denominations like the Methodist Church or the Episcopal Church or the Baptist Church.
The major finding is, for us, that deconversion is a phenomenon that's going on across Christian denominations, across mainline Christian denominations, and is affecting all the major players in Christianity, with the exception of many evangelical communities, and with the exception of Latter-day Saint or Mormon communities. So what's happening in Catholicism is part of a larger tapestry of the changing shape of religion in the United States. But we've also found that there is a rich well of lived experience about Catholic identity on the ground in Catholicism that has not been accessed by theology. And that has to do with old biases in theology about only talking in idealistic terms about what faith is, and not really working from the ground up.
Maryknoll, of course, has a long and storied history as a Catholic mission society, and historically has been involved much more on the conversion side, I'm sure, than the deconversion side. And one of the things that our research is turning up, I think, is a sense in which individuals deconvert for different reasons. They each have a personal story to tell. And in a sense, though I've never been involved in missionary work myself, I'm sure that's true of conversion as well. People come to a faith for their own reasons, and because there's something about the Christian message, there's something about the Catholic message that resonates with them. And so I'm sure there are techniques, that there are ways of proceeding, there's ways of approaching people that Maryknoll has learned through its service in the mission field that may be helpful in terms of helping to reach out to those who are on the brink of, or who have left the church.
It was very exciting, and it was informative on one level, but also very validating.
It was a great experience. Their expertise, the way they deliver their lectures today, was amazing, and I'm privileged to be here.